The most powerful man on earth just vanished from Air Force One inside a catering truck. Cameras saw him walk up the stairs in Turkey. The press brooded right behind him. Half an hour later, the plane took off without the president. Now this happened in July 8 after the NATO summit in Ankara. Trump had flown in on the big new Qatari gifted jet. For the return trip, he publicly chose the older blue and white Air Force One for old time's sake. What nobody outside the tiny circle knew was the real exit was already planned on the other side of the aircraft. While the press and most of the staff were still settling into their seats, Trump and a few of his closest personal aides stepped through a rear door straight into an elevated catering truck, the same kind that usually loads airplane meals. The truck lowered, rolled across the tarmac, and delivered them to a smaller, quieter Air Force C-32A. Sitting nearby, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth boarded that jet on his own. The little group took off under a boring military call sign and headed for a base in Britain. Meanwhile, the big presidential plane, now a pure decoy, taxied with the White House press pool. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, and several other senior officials who still believed the president was somewhere forward of them. The people who actually rode with Trump on the big leg were not the big cabinet names. They were the inner circle. Natalie Harp, the aide who almost never leaves his side, plus Walt Nauta and Dan Scavino. The reason for the entire shell game was a warning that Iranian proxies might try to hit the plane with a shoulder-fired missile as he left Ankara. The tip came through Israeli channels. American intelligence treated it as a low confidence and not independently confirmed. Yet the Secret Service decided the risk was still too high after everything that had already happened in this conflict. So they ran the deception anyways. Window shade on the decoy plane were ordered closed so no one could look out and notice the catering truck peeling away. No missile was ever fired. Now, Turkish officials later said they found nothing matching the threat on the ground. Still, the operation went forward exactly as planned. When the story finally broke weeks later, Trump's explanation was short and classic.
By Secret Service and the military, they wanted me to go in a different flight, a different plane, equal safety, but they wanted me to do it, so I do it. I do what they say.
It's for you to fly on Air Force One, but not
I don't know. I think actually the plane that I flew on was at greater risk.
Why did you say that?
Because that would be the plane I think that they would be more likely to go.
He told reporters he simply does what the Secret Service and the military ask. They wanted him on a different plane that day. So that is what happened. The whole episode shows how personal the Iran situation has become and how far the protective detail will go when even a shaky warning lands at the worst possible moment. 1 minute the president is waving for the cameras, the next minute he's rolling across a foreign runway inside a metal box normally used for chicken dinners, while the official plane full of journalists and cabinet secretaries take off in the opposite direction thinking he is still on board. Next time you watch the president climb those famous stairs and the door closes behind him, remember, sometimes the real flight is already taxiing somewhere else and the only people who know are the ones that just climbed into a catering truck with him. Now don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.